Hi guys, how are ya? Welcome back. This is Amber with Ooh Ah Crochet, and I have been busy. Life in general has been busy. Life has been absolutely crazy, but I've been making things. I've been doing a lot of car crochet and a lot of crochet when I get home after I pick up the kids. So I'm like a full-time driver, pretty much. But I wanted to show you what I've been making. I've been inspired to crochet because I haven't been able to do my things in the basement as long as I would like to. Like I get 1 or 2 hours down there and then my legs are shot. I have an appointment with my doctor next week, but I have to have the appointment to get a referral, so it's a long process, y'all. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I have this, anyway, the veins in my legs need to be looked at, so probably surgery in the future, I'm assuming. Okay, so I hopped on the hedgehog craze, and I've gotten rid of most of my beads, and these happen to be in a box that I found in my craft room. It was just a little tiny box of beads, and I found them. So if you're looking to use pony beads, think about adding it to your crochet. It might just make it just, you know, a little different, but the hedgehogs are a big thing. I just watched a tutorial on YouTube. I watched Nastasia on how to crochet with the beads, and then the hedgehog, there was a free tutorial on how to make a basic hedgehog without the beads, so I just used that. I know there is a paid for pattern out there. I don't know the name of it, but it's pretty simple. Bobble stitches on the bottom, and I did do safety eyes, and this one's got clear because I thought they were cute. Little nose. I'm finally using up my noses, which is cool. So I did that one. This one I didn't add any ears or feet. I just made it plain. So it's kind of, so this one I didn't do, I did just a slip stitch. I didn't do the single crochet. This one I did the single crochet, and I think this one's got a little bit more movement. So if you're making them as a fidget toy, I mean, you've got different options, but this one's going to sink more into your crochet fabric than it would be if you didn't. So these sit more on top, I guess. So those two I got done. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's just I gotta go with what I've got here. This one's gonna be hashtag Ella's fault. I've been watching a lot of craft videos, craft fair videos, and what they're making and different things, and I needed something for the little girl's sister, so I thought I would finally make a cat loaf. Mine always looks like it's crooked, but it is what it is. Each animal has their own. If you are not familiar with the cat loaf, Ella with No Catchy Name has a video tutorial on how to do this. It's super simple, you guys. It's very, very simple, easy to make. You can memorize it. If you're good at memorizing it, you're going to be able to memorize this pattern and just whip these out. I'm assuming in any type of yarn. This is made with Bernat blanket. This was out of a roll, like a multicolor roll. And this was, I think, Bernat blankets. I think it's just a blue. I don't know if it's one of the brights or not, but I went with the white eye accent there. I don't know if this will help or not. Looks like it's kind of fuzzy, but I'm not sure about the tail. You can make different tails. I could do the tube tail. I just was trying to get it done, but bobbles on the feet. Those are my. So you guys tell me if you like the one with the big eyes, the safety eyes and the safety nose, or the hand one. I think I like him better. I don't know. Anyway, he's cute. And they kind of, I think they would stack on top of each other if you got them just right. So I started another one. So I have not finished it yet, but it is on its way. This one is going to be for Miss Daisy. Her birthday is coming up. I meant to make another hedgehog, and then I ran out of red yarn. So instead of making a hedgehog, I'm going to make a little hat out of it. I'm going to make a little hat out of it and put it on some sort of character. And then probably a bell or something at the top there so it hangs down. So, that. And then, let's see. I'm also freeforming. Do you guys just ever just crochet and just start making something and you have no idea what it's going to be, but you just keep going because you're like sitting in the car line at school or something and you need... So, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be, but I did some increases just right here in the front, so I thought he could have like a mouth area. He's got character. I don't know if he'll be like a dinosaur or a monster. I was going to try to make a teddy bear, but I don't know. Anyway. I added eyes just in case I wasn't able to get back up there. Hold on one second. Hopefully that's clearer. I don't know. It might have been just my camera. All right. So the next one, now this one's a big one. This one has taken me, a while. Okay, so the blanket part of this is 94 stitches across. And I did 70 rows. I ran out of yarn and she didn't want the full baby size blanket. So I just went with as much yarn as I had. I did end up buying another purple because I did the main color and the wrong color. So then I ended up having to get another purple. I was trying to get it from my stash, but this is the giraffe blanket. And you fold it up. So this is, you've probably seen them, but they like you, if you're making it for a baby or something, you can, put it like this on the side of a crib. But if you fold it up just right, so you have to fold like the sides and everything. And I'm debating on whether to put the straps. It calls to put a strap between here and here to make it look more like a plush, so it would hold it in place. But once you fold him up, you can lay him out, and he's a big old plush. He's huge, y'all. So, and his legs kind of flop out. They could lay down, you could set him up, but the purple part of the blanket is supposed to fold in underneath. So, anyway, I think this would be perfect for a little 5-year-old. She can hold on to it and still have a little bit of a covering, maybe even a hug, I suppose. I'm a pretty big girl and this goes right around me, so she could sit there and hug this thing the whole time. That might be, it's probably a perfect size actually. I did stuff this pretty well. So this pattern was made by Crochet Arcade. I did have to pay for it, so it was a paid for pattern. There was lots of instructions. If you don't like doing Grafgans, if you don't like doing color changes, this is not the pattern for you. If you don't like sewing, not the pattern for you. I mean, there's not a lot of sewing, but you have to sew on the ears. The head has to be sewn on to here, all 4 legs, and the tail. My biggest challenge was the color changes. With the Bernat blanket, it's so finicky as far as, you know, when you're weaving in your ends. So my only worry is, even though I weave my ends back and forth and all that stuff, is that some of those ends are gonna show up. I've made other blankets. I haven't had any complaints on them with the ends, so hopefully it stays together. But the pattern was pretty. That's a lot of ends and a lot of balls and a lot of like carrying over. I didn't, if it was more than 3 stitches, I didn't carry it behind because it's just gonna pop through. But the tail's even got some coloring in there. Acrylic on the end, it's braided and or chained and cut off. But the head is awesome. Like, you got 3 rows of these, I think they were just chain and then work back and slip stitch. So you got this hair here, but the ears turned out great, or the horns, and the ears are super cute. You got a little bit of pink in there that you embroidered on. He looks like Jeffrey, or she looks like Jeffrey from Toys R Us, I think. Totally. I did not put safety eyes. I embroidered it, or so did the details. I feel like, yeah, you can see it. All right. She wanted pink and purple, and so that's what I did, was pink and purple. The legs are actually pretty awesome. You can see all the different joints. The back, I think it was a back loop only. Might have been front loop only to get the leg to do that. And then you've got your joints here and joint there. It's actually a pretty good pattern. So would I make it again? Not unless it was for somebody special or they were paying me $100. Because this thing, the yarn alone, especially if you're using Bernat blanket, which of course is really soft, but they're $12 a ball now, unless you get them on sale. And I just don't know how anybody would do it if you don't get them on sale, because you would have to charge, because this one alone had 2 balls of the, or a ball and a half of the pink, and almost 2.5 balls of the purple, and I only went 70. The baby size is supposed to go 120 rows, so you would need probably 3 balls of each, if not 4 of the purple and 2 of the pink. It would be a lot. So that's almost $100 in yarn, and you haven't even done your work. So yeah, lots and lots of work. So 70 times 94 stitches, that's just in the blanket. The head, whew, the head was difficult. If you missed a stitch, if your count was off. So she did it kind of like Valerie with Old Soul Crochet. Whereas she didn't do it in the round, she did it to where you go one way, reverse it, or slip stitch, chain 1, reverse it, and go the other way. And that's going to help you with your slant. It's not gonna slant to one way where you're having to make up the difference of which way your pattern's going. It's gonna keep it straighter. So I know exactly why they did it, or why they do it that way. It's very time consuming, because you're not just working like this. You're having to, okay, make sure you're in the right stitch, go back, and find that stitch, that chain 1 stitch and into the slip stitch is hard to keep track of, unless you're one of those people that really want to do a stitch marker of your time you're doing it, which I'm kind of a rebel. I use the long tail of my starting one, and I just I don't do it. What else? Anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to do videos every day in December. I might start right at Thanksgiving and right before Christmas. I'm thinking that might be a good thing to do. Our family holiday it's up in the air because my sister's 3 hours away, and it just seems like every Christmas, like there's a big storm and she can't get here. So it's been harder and harder for us to get together on Christmas. We proposed to my mom that we do just Christmas in July or something, or just pick a random date and go with it because the weather in South Dakota is absolutely absurd. What else? I hope you guys are enjoying whatever you're working on. If it's frustrating, take a step back and try a different pattern. I just got another order for 12 more pot handle covers. 12. So I'm happy. I'm happy I got to make some actual toys. And now I'm back to the adults pot handle covers. Guys, they're just, you crochet what makes you money, that's what I'm going to tell you. If you need the money, that's what you do. If you're doing something fun, do that. But yeah, it's a thing. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. My email has been the same for almost 30 years, I guess. It's amberjoy21@yahoo.com. What else can I tell you? Oh, I have been on carnivore diet since July 30th of this year, and I am down just shy of 40 pounds. And I can't see it. I can feel it in my body. But I have, and probably my stomach is where it's coming off first, which I know a lot of people have a hard time losing that area, but for me, that was never the problem. It's always been my legs. Again, that's part of the reason why I'm going to the doctor, but I've got a multiple different health conditions, and they just seems like they keep stacking up. I think that's kind of what happens when you have autoimmune disorders or diseases. They just kind of compile on top of each other. That's why they're so hard to diagnose. But on top of the thyroid and the EDS, which is the reason why I wear my finger braces, because everything goes wonky, goes backwards, goes in places they shouldn't. I have lipedema, not lymphedema, not yet, Lord help me, but I have lipedema or lipedema, however you pronounce that, and it basically just means because or of the the EDS, which is a connective tissue disorder. My fat molecules in my body are bigger than normal people's. They're fluffier, they're larger, and because they're larger, they have more inflammation, and with inflammation comes pain, and it's part of the reason why my body is the shape that I am. So if you want to look it up, there's 4 different stages. If your legs look like you have like cottage cheese, or they look lumpy, or your bottom half is larger than your top, and a lot of that times happens where you have a skinnier top half, and then all of a sudden the hips and the legs are just large, you might want to look into it. But anyway, on top of that, after 5 kids, my veins on my legs are shot. So that's probably where a lot of my pain comes from. My kids have never been able to sit on my lap for long periods of time. If their elbows, you know how kids lean down with their elbow, if they do that, my legs automatically get a bruise. And with EDS, you're more likely to get bruises anyway. And then with the big veins there and all the other stuff, I get bruises no matter what I do. So anyway, so that's my health update. But I mean, almost 40 pounds, and you guys, I haven't lost weight in years. I was trying to do it, restrict what I was eating or whatever, and then something would happen and I would emotionally eat. I would eat out of boredom. I would eat out of whichever way, pick a reason, and I would do it. it was not unusual for me to take a bag of licorice and give some to the kids, and I would eat the rest. Like, seriously, 5 people and one bag of licorice was gone, and it was me eating most of that. And I was just like, well, it's low calorie and it won't, you know, but all that sugar. So basically, I'm not strict carnivore. I'm not like, you know, just meat and salt, but I am no let me hold on a second. So I do meat, I do some spices. The spices didn't seem to have bothered me yet. I do very little dairy. So if I do dairy at all, it's cheese. Just a little bit of cheese on top of something. And it is weird if you haven't been on carnivore, but when you're on carnivore, you crave fats or butter or whatever. If you've never made brown butter bites, they're amazing. You can make brown butter bites and you can add a little bit of cinnamon. And for those of you that think it's weird, but I've done it and it tastes good. You add a little bit of, take a little thing of brown butter bites with the cinnamon and you put it in your coffee and the coffee and the butter. That's a weight loss hack even before carnivore. Or maybe it was because of carnivore. I don't know, but it works and it's good and it keeps me filled up. But I can tell you that being on it for what, 3 months now, I don't have the cravings. I don't have I need to get up out of bed and have something sweet and something salty and something sweet and something salty. I don't have that anymore. I might be hungry and eat something, but I go grab, if it's late and I don't want to cook, I'll grab a package of tuna or a package of chicken or whatever. But really, you don't want to do low fat items on carnivore because you will make yourself sick. Really, really sick. So if you're looking to find a way to like do an elimination diet, this is a good way to do it. If you're looking to do a weight loss stall, like if you're trying to lose weight and you're at a stall, you could try doing either a sardine fast, a high fat fast. They have an egg fast. There's all kinds of different things that you could try and try what works. You don't have to do like a water fast and you know, starve yourself or whatever. I have tried sardines and you know what? They're not that bad. They just taste just like tuna or salmon in a jar or can. It's you know what? It's just the texture. You put them in your air fryer, which we just got one. Where is it at here? Right over there. We just got one, and so we've been doing that. Donnie and I will get steaks, and we'll cut them up into cubes. If you're not familiar with chislic, but we do a lot of that. We just cut them up in cubes, throw them in the air fryer. Gives them a little bit of crunch, and you still can do them medium rare if you want. We've been doing that a lot. But if you've never tried a pork steaks are really, really good. And I was like, why is this so good? It's different than a pork chop. I don't know why it's different than a pork chop. Maybe because it's got more fat. I'm not sure. Anyway, I've been rambling on. I apologize for those that stick around to listen to my weight loss commentary and my health commentary. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Anyway, my makes. What I've gotten done probably more in the last 2 months than I have in the last 2 years. Lots of stress, and yeah, lots of stress. But if you're crocheting, your mind is counting, or at least for me. And if you're counting, you can't stress about things that are in your head if you're counting. It's a good coping mechanism. It's good for like your mental health to crochet or to knit, because your mind is constantly working. You're counting in your head. You're doing the stitches over and over. It's a repetitive thing. So if you're looking for something for self-care, crocheting, knitting, crafting, diamond art, that is something that is going to help. So Yeah. And I have to tell you that even though right now we are financially strapped, like strapped, because I haven't been doing my auctions. It's like a blessing, or I don't know how to explain it. God gives you what you need when you need it, and that's all I can say to describe it, because I was going to be short on money, and all of a sudden I have an order for 10 pot handle covers. We were going to be short on money next week, and all of a sudden I have an order for 12 pot handle covers. I don't advertise on eBay, on Etsy. That's probably the only thing that's on my Etsy shop besides a giant octopus and my crochet patterns I've made myself. It's just so funny that it just happens that, and we don't need a lot. We just need this amount of money, and this is what it's a blessing. I'm going to tell you that. So anyway, I've had fun. I'm trying to stay positive for the kids, but oh, that's what else I forgot. Oh my gosh. Okay. We finally got to go see my grandmother. She's 98 years old, y'all. 98 years old. I had no expectations of her remembering who I was, being able to talk, do any of that stuff. That was not in my expectations at all. The kids wanted to go see her. We haven't seen her in 2 years. We tried to go in August, but she had COVID. The whole place had COVID, so we couldn't go. So we took a one-day trip up to Aberdeen, which is 3 hours from where I'm at right now. And we went and saw her, actually Groton, I guess, which is half an hour away. And went and saw her, and we had a good time. And we got to see old pictures, like really old pictures of my grandmother when she was in her teens and when she got married. And I got to see pictures of my great-grandparents that I have never seen before. I will insert some pictures at the end. If you are still here watching at this time, thank you so much for watching. And I'll put some pictures at the end so you can see my family and what we had fun. We had a good weekend. It was a great weekend. And anyway, I'll keep you up to date. I am rambling. I'm sorry, you guys. It's been a long time since I've done videos. I will try to make them more professional. I hope you're well. Take care of yourself. Remember that self-care is needed, apparently. And be kind. Love you and each other.